Okay, so get this. Someone sent us excerpts from Vinos de Romania. And let me tell you, Romania is about to be on everyone's list. 6,000 years of winemaking. I'm already hooked. Are we talking ancient Roman vineyards here?
You're not far off. Romanian winemaking does indeed go back to the Roman Empire, which is a big reason why wine is so intertwined with their culture. It's not just a drink, it's woven into their history.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
But then, wasn't there a period when things weren't so great for Romanian wine? I'm thinking about the communist era. Didn't they have to prioritize quantity over quality?
That's true. The communist era was a tough time for Romanian wine. Many vineyards were repurposed, and the focus shifted to mass production. But here's where it gets really interesting. The fall of communism in '89 was like hitting the reset button. It allowed for a revitalization of winemaking traditions.
A comeback story. I love it. So, less than 50 years later, what's the scene like?
It's incredible. We're seeing a wave of new investment, a return to traditional methods, and a dedication to quality. And the world is taking notice. Romanian wines are winning international awards. And people are starting to realize these aren't just good for Romanian wines, they're just plain good.
Okay, I'm already sold on this Romanian wine renaissance. So let's say I'm planning my trip. Where should I even start? Is it like other famous wine regions? Or is Romania doing something totally unique?
Get your tasting glass ready because Romania has a surprising range of terroirs. Each region boasts its own distinct personality. Think of it like exploring different valleys and hillsides, each with its own microclimate, soil type, and history.
Okay, you're making me want to book a flight right now. Give me a taste of these regions. What makes each one special?
Well, if you're looking for the classic Romanian wine experience, Dealu Morea is your first stop. Imagine rolling hills covered in vineyards, known for their full-bodied reds. This is where you'll discover the star of Romanian grapes. Văcheasca Neagră.
Fideasca Niagara. That name sounds so intriguing. What's the story there?
It translates to Black Maiden, and it produces a wine as captivating as its name suggests. Imagine rich flavors of black currant and plum, often with a hint of spice. It's the kind of wine that pairs perfectly with hearty stews or grilled meats. Truly a taste of Romania.
Wow. Black maiden wine with a hearty Romanian stew. I'm already adding that to my itinerary. What's next on this Romanian wine adventure?
Let's head to the coast. The Murfitlar region is all about the influence of the Black Sea. Picture vineyards overlooking the water, with a fresh sea breeze in the air.
Okay. Now you're just making me jealous. But
Yeah.
seriously, how does that seaside location impact the wine itself?
That constant sea breeze imparts a distinct minerality to the wines, especially the whites. They're crisp and refreshing with this almost salty tang. You'll want to try the Fitiesca Galema grape here. It thrives in this region.
So if Dilumire is the classic, Murfatlar is the trendy one, I feel like minerality is having a real moment in the wine world right now.
You're spot on. Sommeliers love Murfitlar wines for their unique minerality, a flavor profile that's really hard to replicate elsewhere. It's all about that sense of place, the terroir.
Two regions down. This is amazing. What's our final stop on this whirlwind tour?
Let's end on a sweet note in Kotnari, a region famous for its dessert wines. But these aren't your typical dessert wines. They use a grape called Tamayo Asa romanesca, and here's where it gets really interesting. It's often affected by Botrytis cinerea.
Botrytis cinerea. Isn't that fungus?
It is, but in the wine world, we call it noble rot. It might sound strange, but it concentrates the sugars and flavors in the grapes, giving the wine incredible depth and complexity.
Okay. That's wild. So we're talking sweet wines. But with a complex twist, what do those taste like?
Imagine a symphony of flavors. Apricot, quince, honey, all perfectly balanced by a bright acidity. They're truly unique.
I am so there. Now, I know we're diving deep into these three regions, but are there any other up-and-coming areas we should keep on our radar? I always love discovering hidden gems.
You and me both. Keep an eye out for Dilu Buzău, known for its fresh, aromatic whites, and Segarcia, which is gaining recognition for its bold reds. And honestly, this is just scratching the surface. Romania's wine scene is so dynamic, there's always something new to discover.
I'm loving this deep dive into Romanian wine. Okay, so we've talked regions, but what about the grapes themselves? What should I look for on a label that screams, this is uniquely Romanian?
You've definitely piqued my curiosity with these grapes. It sounds like Romania is all about celebrating its indigenous varieties,
Yeah,
which you don't see everywhere.
exactly. And that's where the term autochthonous comes in. These are grapes that are native to Romania, deeply rooted in its soil and history. They can't be replicated elsewhere, which is what makes them so special. So, we're talking about more than just the Fitiesca Niagara, Fitiesca Regala. And Tamaioasa Romanesca we've already covered. What other intriguing names should I look for on my wine shopping adventures?
Keep an eye out for Grassa de Cotonari, a white grape known for its delicate floral aromas. Think spring blossoms in a glass. And then there's Mustoasa, which produces this wonderfully aromatic white wine with a hint of muscat-like sweetness. It's all about discovering these hidden gems that showcase the diversity of Romanian terroir.
This is like opening a treasure chest of flavors. I feel like a lot of wine lovers are looking for something new, something off the beaten path. It's not just about Cabernet and Chardonnay anymore.
You're absolutely right. There's a real thirst for discovery in the wine world right now. People are drawn to the story, the history, the unique character that you can only find in indigenous grapes. And Romania offers that in spades.
Okay, I'm sold on trying all the Romanian wines. But let's talk about actually drinking them.
Mm.
What are we pairing these unique wines with? If I brought home a bottle or two, what would really make those flavors sing?
Ah, food and wine pairing. Music to my ears. For those bold Romanian reds. Especially the Fetesca Niagara. You want hearty dishes that can stand up to those robust flavors.
Like what? Give me the specifics. I'm already picturing myself hosting a Romanian-themed dinner party.
Picture this, a juicy mitidai, which is a Romanian spiced sausage, grilled to perfection. Or perhaps a rich stew, maybe with tender beef, smoked paprika, and root vegetables for depth. And don't forget a side of sheep's milk cheese. The sharper, the better.
You're speaking my language.
Mm.
What about those crisp Murphy-Clark whites with the minerality we talked about? What pairs well with a taste of the seaside?
Those wines are a natural match for seafood. Romania has a coastline on the Black Sea, so embrace those flavors. Think fresh grilled fish, shellfish, maybe a simple pasta tossed with clams and a squeeze of lemon. The minerality in the wine will beautifully complement the brininess of the sea.
That sounds like the perfect summer meal. Now, we can't forget about those dessert wines from Cotonari. They sound way too good to not have a game plan for pairings.
You're right. Those dessert wines are something special. For a classic pairing, go for fruit tarts. Apricot or quince would be lovely. The sweetness of the wine plays beautifully against the tartness of the fruit.
Okay, that's a classic for a reason. But you mentioned these wines are complex, so I'm guessing there are some more unexpected pairings that would really surprise people.
Absolutely. If you're feeling adventurous, try the Cotonari dessert wine with a salty blue cheese. The sweetness cuts through the sharpness of the cheese, creating this amazing flavor combination. And for a truly decadent experience, try it with foie gras. Trust me on this one.
Whoa, foie gras. Now that's a pairing I never would have thought of.
It's a match made in heaven. The richness of the foie gras with the honeyed sweetness of the wine is a truly unforgettable experience.
You've officially inspired me to step up my pairing game. But beyond the food, I have a feeling that Romanian wines are all about embracing the unexpected, trying new things. Is that part of what makes this wine region so exciting?
You're totally right. It's like this energy of rediscovering their roots, but also pushing boundaries. So it's not just about those single variety wines we've been talking about. What about blends? Are Romanian winemakers experimenting with those too? Absolutely. There's a whole world of exciting blends coming out of Romania right now. Winemakers are getting really creative, combining those indigenous grapes we talked about with international varieties. Think Fetisca Niagara with a touch of Merlot, or maybe a Cabernet Sauvignon blended with Syrah. They're creating these really interesting flavor profiles that are both familiar and unexpected.
I love that. Blends are such a cool way to experience the best of both worlds. You get the traditional character of the local grapes, but with this added dimension from the international varieties. It speaks to that spirit of innovation you mentioned earlier.
And it makes for a really dynamic wine scene. It's not just about replicating the past. It's about taking those traditions and seeing where else they can go. That's what makes exploring Romanian wine so exciting. You never know what you're going to find next.
So for listeners who are now, like me, eager to dive headfirst into this world of Romanian wine, what's the best way to approach it?
My advice: be adventurous. Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. Pick a bottle with a grape you've never heard of, or try a blend that sounds intriguing. Talk to wine sellers. They're like walking, talking encyclopedias of knowledge. You might just uncover your new favorite wine.
I'm so with you on that. I'm ready to bust out my inner sommelier and impress my friends with my newfound Romanian wine knowledge. Who knows, maybe I'll even convert a few diehard Chardonnay fans along the way.
I have a feeling you will.
This deep dive has been incredible. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of what Romanian wine has to offer.
And that's the beauty of it. There's always more to explore, more to taste, more to discover.
So dear listener, consider this your invitation to join us on this Romanian wine adventure. Seek out those hidden gems, those unexpected blends, those wines that make you see Romanian wine in a whole new light. And when you do, let us know. We might just have to do a follow-up episode. Until then, happy tasting.